Right now, somewhere on Earth, a man named Kevin is down on one knee. He's holding a tiny rock. He paid $4,000 for it. If he tries to sell that rock back tomorrow, he'll get maybe $1,500. And if he'd bought the exact same rock and same carbon, same sparkle, same everything, grown in a laboratory, it would have cost him $400. Kevin doesn't know any of this. Kevin is crying. She said yes. This is the story of the greatest marketing scam in human history. How one company, run by one family, took a stone so common, they had to hide warehouses full of it, locked it in a vault in London, and convinced our entire species that a rock means love. And here's the best part. After 100 years, the scam is finally collapsing, right now, in real time. But to watch it die, you have to see how it was born. Grab a snack. This is the Power Files. For most of human history, diamonds actually were rare. A few riverbeds in India, a few in Brazil. Kings had them, nobody else did. Then, in 1871, on a dusty farm in South Africa, somebody found a diamond, then another, then thousands. The farm belonged to two brothers named De Beer. Remember that name? They sold the land and vanished from history. Everything that follows happened under their name, with none of their money. Miners dug a hole so big you can see it from space. And they found diamonds, not a handful, buckets, tons, and that was a catastrophe. Because here's the dirty secret of anything precious. It's only precious if there isn't much of it. Gold is expensive because it's scarce. Diamonds were about to become gravel with good lighting. The men digging in that hole realized they weren't racing to find diamonds. They were racing to hide them. Enter the empire builder, Cecil Rhodes. He didn't start by mining diamonds. He started by renting water pumps to the miners, getting paid whether they struck it rich or not. Then, claim by claim, he bought the entire hole. In 1888, he rolled it all into one company named after two farmers who'd left the party early, De Beers. One company. One rule. Nobody sells a diamond unless we say so. But Rhodes was just the architect. The dynasty came next. In the 1920s, a man named Ernest Oppenheimer, the king, took control of De Beers. His family would sit on that throne for 80 years. And Ernest perfected the machine. Every diamond from every mine flowed to one building in London, the Syndicate. 10 times a year, hand-picked buyers were invited in and handed a box. Inside the box, whatever diamonds De Beers decided to give them. The price, whatever De Beers decided to charge. You do not open the box, you do not negotiate, you pay, you say thank you, or you never see a diamond again. At its peak, this one company controlled 90% of every diamond on Earth. When too many came out of the ground, they didn't lower prices. They locked the extras in the vault and let the world starve. Supply solved, one problem left. And it was a big one. Nobody actually needed a diamond. By 1938, the Great Depression had done the unthinkable. People stopped buying shiny rocks. Diamond prices were sliding. The vault was filling. The scam needed a reason to exist. So the prince, Harry Oppenheimer, Ernest's son, sailed to America and hired an advertising agency in Philadelphia called N.W. Ayer. Their assignment was insane. Don't sell a product, sell an emotion. Make the diamond mean something it had never meant anywhere, ever. Make it mean love. They lent diamonds to Hollywood stars. They planted stories about celebrity proposals. The ring always mentioned, always described, always enormous. Marilyn Monroe sang that diamonds are a girl's best friend. That wasn't culture, that was inventory management. And then one exhausted night in 1947, a young copywriter named Frances Garrity, the poet, had to finish a campaign before bed. She scribbled 4 words under a picture of honeymooners. A diamond is forever. The greatest advertising line of the 20th century, written in minutes. It says nothing about price, nothing about quality. It whispers something much more dangerous. Love that ends was never real. And real love comes with a receipt. De Beers even told you what the receipt should say. 2 months' salary. That rule your grandfather followed? An ad. In Japan, they ran the same campaign and said 3 months. Same rock, different invoice. And Japan is where they proved the machine could do anything. In 1967, fewer than 5% of Japanese brides wore a diamond. 1,500 years of wedding tradition, 0 diamonds. De Beers started advertising. 14 years later, 6 brides out of 10. They didn't discover a tradition. They installed one. In a decade. On the other side of the planet. By the 1980s, the illusion was airtight. Which brings us to the question De Beers spent a century praying you'd never ask. If diamonds are so valuable, try selling one. In 1982, a journalist named Edward J. Epstein did exactly that, in a famous investigation with a beautifully simple title, Have You Ever Tried to Sell a Diamond? The answer broke people's brains. The jeweler who sold you the ring at full price won't buy it back at half. The moment you walk out the door, your investment becomes a used rock. It gets better. In the 50s, the Soviet Union found diamonds in Siberia, millions of tiny ones, a flood that could crack the cartel. So De Beers quietly agreed to buy nearly all of it. And to unload mountains of tiny stones, they invented brand new traditions. The eternity ring, the anniversary band. Say it with many small diamonds. The vault always wins. And if a country tried to leave the family? In 1981, Zaire decided to sell diamonds on its own. De Beers opened the vault and flooded the market with exactly the kind of stones Zaire produced. Prices cratered. 2 years later, Zaire came back, and on worse terms. The message to every diamond nation on Earth: nobody leaves. But empires built on a lie collect enemies. Fun fact: for most of the 20th century, De Beers executives couldn't set foot in the United States, their biggest market, because American price-fixing charges were waiting at the airport. They ran the American diamond dream by remote control from London like ghosts. In 2004, they finally walked into a U.S. courtroom, pled guilty, paid $10 million, pocket change, and walked out clean. Then the world learned what blood diamonds meant, wars in Sierra Leone and Angola paid for in gemstones, and the industry scrambled into damage control. And new mines kept appearing where the syndicate couldn't lock the door. Russia, Australia, Canada, 90% control became 70, then 50, then 30. The faucet had cracked. But the fatal blow didn't come from a mine. It came from a microwave. Scientists built machines that do in 3 weeks what the Earth needs 3 billion years for. Same carbon, same crystal, same fire. A diamond so identical that jewelers need machines to tell the difference, and your eyes never will. For decades, De Beers' answer was the old playbook: real diamonds are natural, lab stones are fake, please ignore that they're atomically identical. Then in 2018, they blinked. De Beers launched its own lab-grown brand, Lightbox, at $800 a carat. Flat pricing, like socks. Read that again. The company that spent a century teaching you a diamond is a priceless miracle. Started selling identical diamonds at a fixed price, like a warehouse club. The brides noticed. Wedding forums today read like support groups. You literally cannot tell the difference. We should have used the money for the honeymoon. Today, more than half of American engagement rings hold a lab-grown stone. Natural diamond prices are in free fall. This year, De Beers announced deep price cuts. The Vault, publicly discounting forever. Lightbox, already shut down. Even the Surrender failed, and their parent company has been trying to sell De Beers itself. There is no line outside the store. Oh, and the family. The Oppenheimers quietly sold their entire stake in 2012, $5.1 billion. The house cashed out its chips right before the casino caught fire. Old money always smells the smoke first. So that's the scam. The rock is common, the rarity was a vault. The tradition is younger than your grandmother. The price was an ad. The resale value is a punchline. But here's the twist this file ends on. Frances Garrity, the woman who taught the entire planet that a diamond means eternal love, never married. No proposal, no ring. She spent 50 years selling a promise she never bought. And yet, remember Kevin? His rock is worth almost nothing. It always was. But watch him. Watch her. 60 years from now, that worthless rock will sit in a drawer, and his grandkids will fight over who keeps it, not because of what it costs, because of who wore it. De Beers sold us the wrong forever. The diamond was never it. The people were. That's the thing about the greatest scam in history. Everyone knows. And somewhere out there, right now, someone is still down on one knee. Subscribe. Barry Wood.